Okay, make this make sense for me, because I'll get on here and say something about how black people are not victims to racism and white people don't actually have power over us, and we do not have to continue to perform victimhood, and we are far more responsible for our own circumstances, our own wins and losses, than many of us are told we are or believe that we are. And then a black person, many black people, will come in my comments and tell me about all the statistics about blackness and how we are oppressed in all of these different ways. And then I say, I'm sorry that you are oppressed, but you do have the power to overcome that. I choose not to perform victimization or oppression. You don't have to perform it either. Nobody is actually more powerful than you and your creator. Then they respond, I'm not oppressed. I own 3 businesses, 5 condos. I'm a multi-gazillionaire. I'm married. I've been married to the same person for 83 years. All of my children are college graduates, lawyers and doctors. Okay, so what you on here talking about then? So why are you getting on here insisting that we're oppressed if you yourself are not oppressed? That doesn't even make sense. I cannot imagine living my best life being so blessed, being blessed with everything I ever prayed for, but then spending my time convincing everybody that I and all of my people are victims, when you could just be sharing your testimony and empowering your people to rise above the same way you have. It makes no sense. It happens every time. I'm engaging with a young lady in my comments right now who's on there talking about racism, the racism black people experience every single day. So then I said, okay, tell me about some racism that you've experienced lately. Tell me about an experience you've had of racism. Then she says, black women are more likely to die while giving childbirth. Then I say, of the 50-something black female family members who I counted off the top of my head, I'm just talking about my grandmas, my aunties, my cousins, my mama, my sisters. That's 50-something black women who've given birth. Okay, at least 50-something. Ain't none of them died. And here I am pregnant, and I'm not concerned. I'm not fearful that I'm going to die. I have a great care team. You know, like, that's just not something I'm afraid of. That's not a fear that I'm carrying. Did you die during childbirth? No. Then she says, well, my mother almost did, but she didn't die. Who do you know who died during childbirth? Otherwise, you're just repeating these statistics that they are forcing on us black women to continue to be fearful of being black women. It's weird. Then she starts talking about the justice system. But again, these are not experiences that she's had. While I spend every single day and night with someone who's been through that system, who was able to advocate for himself to get out of that system, and who is very capable of saying that it was the decisions that he made that got him in there in the first place. We're not about to sit here and just perform victimhood like we don't have any power or control over our lives. We have power, we have control. Ain't nobody more powerful than us. And especially if you have a God, if you serve the creator and sustainer of this universe, certainly ain't nobody more powerful over your life than the creator and sustainer of the universe. Y'all need to quit making evil whiteness your God. That's a personal problem. It's a sickness.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing good. There are some truths in America that are whispered in private but rarely spoken aloud. Truths that challenge the foundation of identity, power and privilege. But today, more black Americans are refusing to stay silent. They are exposing a reality that makes many white Americans uncomfortable, even enraged. So guys, let's get into this video. I'll be coming back with more commentaries. Stay tuned.
Every time I think about what is going on in America, in the United States of America, with Trump and white men, all that they're doing, the fact that they're still up to now trying to take us back to slavery. America have been built on the backs of slaves, on black people. And all these years, y'all have been living off of colored people, black people. And yet still y'all still trying to act as if, well, y'all are better than us. Like if y'all deserve earth more than we do. It is so troubling because black people have contributed so much to white people. So much to white people. From way back then, black women were forced to breastfeed you guys and neglect their own black children. Understand everything black people have ever done, even when we were forced to do it. We did it to build this nation, to build this world. And what the white man have done? Destroyed. Wars, more wars, separating families, killing babies, killing innocent people. For what? For money, for power, greed. Greed, more greed. Thinking that they run Earth and they can do whatever they want to do with Earth and everybody else on Earth. And even you white women standing beside them and contributing to this foolishness, raising your white children thinking the same foolish crap that your forefathers, your grandpappy taught, that they were better and they can own us, they can do with us as they please. And you are continuing the same shit. Now look what Trump have done. Look what Trump have done. And understand, America was already on shaky grounds. But now, do you think black people are ever going to go back to slavery? That will never happen. And you all have seen the man that he is. Look what you all did. Elected this man a second time. And now all these things are coming out about him. But they were already known. And you all turn a blind eye. And I'm saying to myself, what is wrong with my people? What is wrong with America? All y'all turn your back on the reality of who this man is and thought that he was going to do a wonderful job once he became president again. This shit is ridiculous. White people, y'all are so hard to get along with, to tolerate, because of the ignorance that y'all are doing on a continuous basis. This shit is going to come to a head. You understand? Black people not tolerating this shit no more. Because we have never done nothing to you. You're the ones always doing shit to us.
So white people will never leave black people alone, and I'm gonna tell you why. White society's obsession with black people isn't new, it's centuries old. If you think about slavery, colonialism, and exploitation, from the start, white wealth in America was built off the backs of black bodies. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, rice. This wasn't just economics, it was a system where white people's very identity was shaped around controlling and owning and watching black bodies. But here's the wild contradiction in all of this, right? While trying to dehumanize us, white culture has always been obsessed with us, right? They copied our music, our style, our language, our food, even our rhythm, all while denying us basic rights. Think about jazz and rock and hip hop and fashion, all born out of black genius, only to be taken, watered down, and sold back to the world with a white face on it. So why can't they just stay away? Because in a system that is built both on exploitation and envy, distance is impossible. White supremacy depends on keeping black people in place, close enough to use, control, or imitate, but never free enough to threaten the hierarchy. It's a sick paradox, fear and fascination at the same damn time. On a psychological level, it's projection. White folks will project their guilt, their fear, and their insecurities onto blackness, and then turn around and crave the very life, culture, and resilience they tried to destroy. It's like they want the sauce, but not the struggle. Now, to be real, not every white person acts like this, but the system, the way whiteness has defined itself against blackness, makes it so this obsession keeps resurfacing. Whether it's over policing or culture appropriation or trying to legislate our lives, it always comes back to the old need to dominate mixed with a quiet desire to be what they can't.
I can't say that I spend a lot of time hanging around racist white people, but I will say this: they will always find a way to make themselves out to be the victim. I had this one coworker in the past, let's just say her name was Barbara, okay? Barbara's this middle-aged white woman who has some racist views. One day, we've got a new girl, she's serving a table, it's full of like 8 bitchy Karens who are doing way too much Basically, they just want to get their food for free. So they're sending everything back after they've already eaten half of it and saying like, oh, this was terrible. I didn't like this. I didn't like that, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I felt so bad for the new girl because she's like on the verge of tears. Like she is so flustered. These Karens are being so rude, so mean for no reason. Well, they would just want to get their food for free. I said something like, man, I hope that new girl doesn't think this is what all of our customers are like, because they are not like that. Usually they're really nice. And this is like a one-off situation. And this is like her third day at work and she's having to deal with this. I feel so bad. Barbara looks at me and goes, well, you know why that is. And I'm over here like, no, what? And she goes, it's because they're black. Immediately I shut it down and I'm like, this has absolutely nothing to do with race. That is wildly inappropriate to say. Like, I can't even tell you how many white tables I've had that have acted exactly like that and worse. I said, maybe it's because they're bitchy Karens who want their food for free, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that they're black. So I felt like I set the record straight. I felt like we had an understanding, right? Anyway, Barbara goes home earlier than the rest of us. She took that opportunity to go and run and tell HR that I was discriminating against her as a Wisconsinite. Now, let me tell you what really happened. Barbara thought I was going to go to HR and tell on her for being racist. So she thought, let me go to HR first and report Axel first. Because then, whenever Axel reports me for being racist, it's going to seem like he's just making it up. And he's just mad that I reported him. So now he's making up a bunch of bullshit. And it's just retaliation. Very sneaky, very sneaky. Oh, the racist whites will always do that, won't they? They will always try to turn themselves into the victim. I ended up getting suspended for a week without pay, okay? And I lived paycheck to paycheck at the time, so that they could do an investigation into me and interview a bunch of coworkers and see if I was discriminatory against Wisconsinites. The most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard. All because Miss Barbara couldn't take accountability when she was caught in the act being racist. Don't worry, I ended up getting her back. She ended up quitting because she was like super embarrassed by the end of all of this. So anyway, we got her back. I'm not going to go into all of that, but we got her back and she learned her lesson, okay? I ended up really like laying into her. But anyway, just to my point, I was thinking about that today, and I was like, man, the lengths that these racist white people will go to rationalize and excuse their racism, to justify their racism, and to avoid taking accountability whenever they get caught in the act.
Do white people ever get tired of other white people? And I'm being sincere. Do they ever get tired of the white people who find stuff to be outraged about? Now, I'm not talking about Karens. Karens are racist, and you know they're always going to complain about something, right? But do white people ever get tired of other white people? And I'm amazed for a country that has no health care, whose illiteracy is at hovering somewhere about 55%. And y'all out here defending billionaires in comment sections, and y'all out here voting for felons. And it's because white people don't like conflict. White people can't call out things directly. And if they do, and if it's God forbid it's a white woman, because all you're going to get is tears and no accountability, no addressing your point, no acknowledgement of what you said. And so, do white people ever get tired of other white people? I see, like, it must be good to be white. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It must be real good to be white and just be like a pure, like, whether you like it or not, you're a benefactor, a beneficiary of white supremacy. I seen a white person slacklining on hot air balloons, and I'm like, that's how you spend your time, man? You want to go up into the clouds and walk on a fine line? No parachute? It must be good to be white, bro. It must be good to be white to know that white people are voting against their own interests. They're voting against their own interests, and they do not care. They do not care to have the white supremacy, the white privilege to just know that, well, not for me, but for thee. You know what I mean? Don't oppress me, oppress them over there. We got illiteracy hovering around 55% in this country. We don't research, we do not care. And yet, people out here defending systems that are clearly failing, clearly racist, clearly not benefiting them. I don't understand. Do white people ever get tired of white people and their shenanigans, bro? Hey, I really want some white people to sound off in the comments, because I'm so, like, black people are tired of white people, but we've just learned to, like, deal with white people like the chicken pox or like a cold or something. We just know that, like, all right, we're gonna get sick once a year. You know what I mean? We gotta deal with them, minimal as possible, but we're gonna try everything in our power to stave them off. Do white people ever get tired of white people? Because I know we do. Just hearing the nonsense. White women crying on the internet. I can't believe there are consequences to my actions. I didn't vote against you. I voted for me. The audacity to have the naivety that some white people have. Do white people ever get tired of other white people? And the thing is, it's so easy to play on white people, and I don't ever infantilize white people's actions, because, like, no one's stupid nowadays. We all got fucking computers in our hands. In our phones, you can look up anything, and you still chose not to. You chose not to because of what? Your heart? Your heart? You chose to vote for someone who said they were going to roll back protections, and you thought he'd be considerate of you? You went to rallies and paid money and funded that man's debauchery. And for what? And for what? For what, bro? Do white people ever get tired of white people, bro? Like, do y'all ever just be like, yo, man, I can't fuck with Chad or Brian with a Y or Connor, you know what I mean? Or so whatever other white people name, or Ashley will spell Leigh, or Tiffany with an I, or whatever bullshit. Do y'all ever get tired of each other? Because we do, and we need y'all to stop it, because everything, whatever y'all get tired of and don't do nothing about, guess what? Black people have to deal with it the most. How can we have no health insurance? How can we have illiteracy hovering at 55%? How can we have most people at medical emergency away from being broke? How can we have all these and yet people still up here getting indignant voting for a felon, bro? Because of his economic plan? And they'll do anything to justify it. They out here rooting and cheering in the streets till the newspapers start seeing what he doing. I didn't know. The road to fascism has been littered with law and order, I didn't know, and jokes. And sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, it's Democrats making the corniest of the jokes. I'm like, this guy, what can we do? The Democrat Party doesn't have a backbone in it to fucking actually do some shit. It's like watching a team that could win and dominate, but choose not to, because it's like, it's not the way we do it here. We keep it a classy program. We are losing. We are losing. Please do something. But back to the first question. Do white people ever get tired? Have you ever seen another white person do something so white, you'd be like, shit, I'm not that. I ain't that white. I ain't talking about the toe shoes white. I'm not talking about Patagonias or North Faces white. I'm talking about white caucasity shit. Y'all get tired?
Guys, as we continue watching, here's the truth. White supremacy didn't die with the civil rights movement. It evolved. It disguised itself in laws, in hiring decisions, in housing policies, in school funding, in media portrayals, all while telling black Americans to get over it. But the system was never built for them. it was built against them. That is why in this video, we are exploring the powerful truths shared by Black Americans about the historical and the ongoing dynamics of race, privilege, and power in the United States. These revelations challenge long-held narratives and have sparked intense reactions, especially among those who feel their perceived dominance is being questioned. So why does the truth about racial inequality provoke such strong emotions? Is there a deeper fear behind the rage? So guys, let's continue. Join us as we continue unpacking these uncomfortable realities, analyzing the roots of entitlement, and shine a light on the social constructs that continue to shape our world today. Let's get into these remaining clips. I'll be back.
If you take the topic of racism away, like, do y'all have anything else to talk about in life? It's like, it just gets to the point where it's like, I'm 37. It's like, imagine 37 years of your life, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every function, every gathering, the every cookout, the topic is white people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're home, like, enjoying their life, eating chicken salad, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, imagine, like, your whole life is dedicated to talking about white people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't get to a point, like, you're not tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have another topic. Like, I mean, maybe we could talk about Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And freedom from demonic oppression, maybe. You know what I mean?
I hate when white Americans complain about being excluded from something that is specifically for Black people when the Black American experience is that of exclusion. Y'all are bitching, crying, and complaining about Sexy Solon telling y'all to get to the fuck of the back. That was quite literally something that happened in American history for Black people. Did we all of a sudden forget about Rosa Parks? I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. And I was like, in the 6th grade, there was a Coca-Cola campaign where they put everybody's name on a Coke. And you can go to the store and you can get your Coke, right, with your name on it. Me being the naive 6th grader that I was, I went to the store and I looked for my Black ass name. And of course, I didn't find it. And that was the start of many experiences of exclusion, right? There are thousands of campaigns and songs in which I, as a Black person in America, cannot relate to. Even the way most brands are cultivated are for the experiences of white Americans. And it is so, like, exclusive and exclusionary that y'all even want us to cultivate the brands that we make and create to your liking, so they're palatable to your taste. Hip-hop has fallen so far in the ground that they only allow Black artists to release music that is palatable to white people. So here we have an authentically Black artist who has finally come back, right? They've come back around and made a song that is exclusive to Black people for the Black American experience. And y'all are bitching, moaning, and complaining? Y'all crying about not being included in anything when this world was quite literally created around white supremacy? Don't make me clock y'all fucking teeth. Y'all are so obsessed with centering yourselves, right? Everything cannot be about you. Toni Morrison asked, could she write a book that was not centered around race, right? Because to them, the fact that a Black woman would write a book written around the Black experience that did not center the white gaze was unbelievable to them. She said that she could, but she wouldn't. And that's how I like it, right? Millions of white book writers, millions of white brands. If white people want something to relate to, the world is literally at your fucking mercy, right? There are entire cultures that have nothing to do with y'all that will center your experience just for the sake of money and capitalism so that they can survive in this world because you guys centered yourself around everything. So please, when I say Catch a fucking grip? I mean that.
Oh yeah guys, you have come to the conclusion of this video, and while I was perusing through social media, I came to realize that white individuals are reacting defensively to discussions about privilege. So I asked myself that why does that make so many white Americans furious? Is it guilt, or is it fear, or is it a subconscious belief that equality feels like oppression when you've been used to supremacy? So we have the psychology of entitlement, in that the entitlement is invisible when you've always had it. To some, fairness feels like a threat. When Black Americans demand justice, they demand space, they demand equity. It's seen as attacking whiteness, but maybe it's not an attack. Maybe it's a mirror. So there are, we can talk about the backlash to progress is being revealed, because for some, supremacy isn't just a system, it's a comfort zone. So we have the real fear that is digging in. What is really being threatened? Not lives, not safety, but dominance. The idea that whiteness should always come first, that it should be the standard, that being white means being unquestioned, and anything that challenges that status quo is labeled as divisive or reverse racism. But let's be clear, truth isn't racism, accountability isn't hate, and equality isn't a threat unless you believe you are supposed to be above others. What comes next? America stands at a crossroad. Will it cling to a myth of superiority, or will it confront the truths that Black Americans have always known? Truths about injustice, about inequality, about stolen legacies and silenced voices. To those who are enraged by the truth, ask yourself that why does this upset me? Is it because it's wrong, or because it's uncomfortably right? So guys, the truth will make you uncomfortable before it sets you free. And right now, Black voices are speaking louder than ever. It's not hatred, it's history, it's not division, it's a demand for dignity. The question is, will you listen, or will you rage against the truth? So thank you so much guys for watching. If this message moved you or made you uncomfortable, then it's doing what it's supposed to do. Thank you and have a nice time. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video, and this video is meant for educational purposes and commentary purposes as well. Kindly drop your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe and share this video to keep the conversation going, because silence has never served justice. Thank you so much, and I love you all. See you in the next one.